like the founder tribe. Intriguing primal ancestor. Let's get it. Let's get it. So we did on Prester John. They like to connect in this story and this. It's crazy, man. Wikipedia, man. They got all this drop on Prester in 2 sentences connected to the Americas. But Italian historian Peter Martyr de Anghiera identified the land of Prester John with Kokora. We're talking America because we're talking Carolina, because Kokora is the indigenous name of the Carolinas. So why would this one historian identify the land of Prester John with South Carolina and not Ethiopia and all this? We know we got the Abyssinia flow, but Abyssinia, remember, is the native name for Ethiopia. I'll be seeing you, Abyssinios. Native name for Ethiopia, right? I'll be seeing you, Abyssinios. Native name for Ethiopia. I'm talking about my Nagas that see clearly. I ain't talking about no pretending Nagas. I'm talking about the real genuine flow. That know that when they talk Ethiopia, we're talking fiery looking Nagas. That means you got the glance. That means you got the sight. That means you see clearly. That means they couldn't extinguish your light. That means your light is here to stay. So when they talk Abyssinia, we know we're talking native. We know we're talking native name. And when they talk Ethiop, we know we're talking fiery Nagas, dragon Nagas, fiery looking Nagas, man. Burnt face, right? Negro. Or the ones with the deadly glance, or the evil eye. But we still just talking, I'll be seeing you. Abyssinia. So something about that light ignites the fire in your eyes. And that light is connected to the native name, which is Abyssinia, which is why they call him Prester John, Priest King, Emperador de los Abyssinios, because that predates the name. That's the native name for Ethiopia, which is the burnt face, fiery looking Nagas wherever you go. But King David is the king of the earth. Ain't on no play. Nestorian, right? Nestorian. So they give you 2 sentences on America, you know. But all this on the Ethiopia flow with Prester John. India was a vague concept. Yeah. Which is why this is India superior. India was just a vague concept. Don't worry about that. Because writers often spoke of the 3 Indias, not 1, not 2, but 3 times. All this on the Mongol flow, the Tagru, the king of the Kara, the Cherokee, right? The Chikora, which is a kingdom, Manage. The Sajin title, which is king. You got to recon the Tang, we gotta recon the gin. And Cathay. Orderic places John's land to the west of Cathay. Orderic, how many witnesses do you need before you take this way too serious? Way too serious, right? Come on, Con. Con means priest. So he's near Cathay, Cathay, China. But this is a map of America, man. How can it be that the Chinese sail upon this oceanic sea? I'm talking Cathay. Queen of Sheba came with her spices, right? Gold and spices, we still talking Cathay. Let's go. These include Franciscan explorers, William of Rubric. He's the one that called the Tangut swarthy, right? I'm literally belly flop. And then you got the King David flow again. As it turns out, this time he's Genghis Khan, but we just got that David is your title. David the First, Judah the First, Prester John, William of Ruber. What do you say about them Tangut? That they swarthy Nagas? Yellow River or White River, man. Jin Dynasty, dang, I mean, the more we talk about this, the more we see clearly. The more we got that fiery look. Tangut, right? The Shia, Western Shia, which is the Alman, also known as Tangut. William of Rubrit, let's get it bigger, who traveled to various parts of the Mongol Empire in the 13th century. The Tanguts were valiant and had big, swarthy men among them. Oh, just among them? That doesn't mean they're swarthy. Oh, okay. The Tangut people I saw were tall but swarthy. These is niggas. William of Rubik is letting us know. So William of Rubric and Giovanni are both Franciscan explorers. This is why the Shakora flow, they gave him the name Francisco. But it's his baptismal name, not his real name. So what's his real name? That got us comparing this guy with Esteban, right? And saying, come on, bro. You got shipwrecked the same time, 1521, 1522, found you, and then gave you a new name, like Esteban. Now they worshiping you as the son. They take you with 70 others. We gonna get back on this Kokoro, man. I'm just saying. They got all this on all this other stuff. They comparing it and Prester with all these things. Christian this, patriot this, but then they go Nestorian that. Take you to the Church of the East. We say, come on, boss. Stop making him a Christian. That's why you gotta say Nestorian patriarch, because this ain't no orthodoxy flow. Come on, boss. A Nestor, a Nestorian is a Nestor. And a Nestor is the name for an old king renowned for wise counsel. Shout out to Bob Marley, whose name is also Nestor, connected to an old king. renowned for wisdom, mama say. By me, kings reign, God. Connected with his nostalgia, which is, you know what I mean, being in bliss, right? Being blessed. Not no Christianity. An old king renowned for mama, because wisdom is the conqueror of fortune. God. So now we understand the Nestorian flow every time they try to put it on us. Let's go. Let's go. Oh God, so picking it up here, historytoday.com. 1145, when Prester John first appears, need for such an ally was all too important. The capture of Edessa by the Seljuk general Zengi, 1144, marked the turning point in the history of the Crusades. The conquest of the First Crusade were gravely endangered by a rival of Islamic power. The news of the fall of Edessa was brought to Pope Eugenius III from the Levant by Hugh, Bishop of Jabala in Syria. The meeting between Bishop and Pope at Vertebo in the autumn of 1145 was attended by the German chronicler Otto of Frieslingen, who took down what was said to the bishop. The gloomy news of the fall of Edessa was balanced by the prospect of help for the Crusaders from an unsuspected direction. The bishops had to make up this story that somewhere out there's this super Christian who's going to help us in Christendom. But nah, we talking Nestorian. We talking Nestor. The bishop had heard that not long ago one John, king and priest, priest, king, Prester John, who dwells in the extreme Orient. They flipped your map upside down. You think I'm lying? They flipped your map upside down. So you think you're in the West when you're in the East. The furthest East is the furthest Orient, which is makes you the Oriental. They don't like to be called the Oriental. You are the extreme Orient. California, New York City. Like, this is the extreme East of them, beyond Persia and Armenia, and is with his people a Christian, but a Nestorian. Nestor, old king renowned for wise counsel, had defeated the Persians and captured their capital. So he's whooping up on all these sultans and Persians and Islamic yada yadas. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's being recruited, but really that's why they fear him. He got the fiery look. Genghis is paying tribute. So he defeated the Persians, captured their capital. After this victory, John set out with his army to come to the aid of the Crusaders, but was unable to get his troops across the Tigris. That's their story, but really, he ain't rocking with no damn hijacked cities, Zeus worshiping, Jupiter worshiping, hijacked Christians, man. Stop the play. Stop the play. There's a certain basis of a contemporary fact behind this odd story. 1141, the Seljuk Sultan Senjar, in one of the decisive battles in the history of Central Asia, was defeated at Katwan near Samarkand by a Mongol people, the Kara Kata. Back to the Cathay. And what does Kara mean? Who had recently migrated to Central Asia, previous home in North China, the Kara or Black Kata. Body bags. Can you count the body bags? I ain't making this up. So when they say car, they're talking black. When they say Cherokee is car, they're talking black. The car Cherokee is Cherokee. The key is still the key. And the ta is still the tau. And the tau is the last letter of your ancient Hebrew. Ka. Tau, where two cross sticks where X marks the spot. The mark, the sign, the signal, the monument, or the covenant, my noggin. 2 cross sticks, Ezekiel 37. 2 tribes coming back together. Northern Israel, Southern Israel, the whole tribe, the Bloods and the Crips, the GD and the Big D. That's where X marks the spot, man. That's where you see clearly. That's where wisdom is the conqueror fortune. That's where Israel can be Israel once more. That's when we can be great again.